Hello and welcome to the next part of Super Danganronpa Another 2. Last time we completed the investigation for chapter 2 and now we shall have the trial. Hui hui
Yeah.
hui. Hello, suspect number 1.
Yeah.
Kokoro, please wait. Your killer will surely pay. Well, I sure hope that the minigames won't kick my butt too hard.
Me too.
I'm starting to feel sick, but there's no way out, I suppose. Oh, I would be feeling sick to my stomach also, if I had to do stuff like that.
Yeah.
I guess there's only one good thing about it is that you just get to investigate and then immediately do it, so there isn't time to, like, panic yourself about it. Too busy.
Yeah. What a pity. No one gives me a chance to speak.
Yeah.
A shame, honestly, considering you're so smart, but whatever.
Hey.
Let's go.
Short and to the point.
Yeah, he usually is. When he's not rambling.
What can we do? Can we survive this? What if we end up like Koro? It's alright. Leave it to me. And even if we fail, I'll be with you till the end, right? Gal.
God.
Not an upside. And I suppose
Really,
the
it's
same will
not.
happen if... Yeah.
They tend to have jointed dialogue.
Shobai, you never thanked me once. I'm really offended. I'm sorry, but I cannot take you seriously even when you're offended.
This is...
The class trial. Even with my memory loss, this place feels all too familiar. Somewhere I never want to go back. Damn. To think I'd end up here again.
I got this.
Let's discuss as much as we can based on what we found. We must find the killer.
Alright.
It would be a lie to say that I'm not scared, but it's our only option. Let's do our best.
Yes.
Sora, let's boost our spirits before we jump in.
Those brats will never learn to be silent.
Phew. Then off we go.
Yeah, we ready. Here goes nothing. Just like the last time, the elevator made an unnerving sound and slowly but surely made its way to the underground. Everyone stayed deadly quiet, as we'd silently agreed to. It was like there was now an unspoken rule that the elevator was a place to silently ready your hearts. The elevator descends relentlessly as we ponder these thoughts until it finally stops and the doors open.
Hello there.
It's an ice cream.
Yeah, this isn't that bad. At least, like, he tries with the wallpaper, you know, compared to fucking Monokuma. Anyway. You've arrived. I've been waiting.
Hey.
Hey, why does this place look different to last time?
It'd be boring if it was the same always, eh? So, for your amusement, I changed up the design.
What the hell?
Amusement? Just how in the world is any of this amusing?
Very well.
He's a bit grim, it's fine. Well then, please take your place where your name is written.
I wish you luck.
You've done this once, so you all know how it goes, right? Now let's begin. A death game with your lives on the line. Second class trial. To To say that we'd be calmer after doing this once before would definitely be a lie. As Monocro said, it's our lives on the line. I'm afraid and nervous. Heck, we all are. But Kokoro must have been much more afraid. Must have been scary and painful. I thought it hurt to lose Yuri. Kokoro was much closer to us personally. Even everyone, not just Emma, is enraged. And if we don't find the culprit, we all die. We have to find out who did it. To avenge Kokoro's death. To survive.
Yep.
Oh, Hajime, I miss you.
Time won't wait for us, and it's finally starting. Trial of life and death. Trial of truth and lies. Trial of trust and betrayal.
Bye, Cocos.
Trial of fact and fiction.
You know, I would never be able to write that.
You know. Trial of pleas and excuses. Trial of friends and foes. Trial like no other. Class trial. I think it's really funny that Yuri's portrait is next to Mikado. Like next to Mikado and Teria. I think it's hilarious.
It's time to
No,
save.
yep, no bordering on any of the girls.
Exactly what he deserves. Okay, do you need an evidence review or are you good? And yeah, we might want to add that. Do we have any other? We do have other skills, don't we? Yeah, we need that. Oh my god.
20?
Do we have- are there any other skills we have? Or nah?
Nope,
Just that one, I
that's
assume?
that's the end.
We're gonna have to focus on getting skill points after this. That was really close.
But we
Alright, well
survived.
we have all of our shit- we have all our shit equipped. We just need more skill points later.
I think we... I think I would just want to look at things like... Ah yeah, there are some details which weren't necessarily mentioned. Like here, severed limbs. An old legend on this island tells that Yuki Onna freezes people to death and takes away their limbs. That might come up.
Yeah.
Found a dry bloodstain on Kokoro's bed sheet near the body, which doesn't seem to be from her cut off limbs. It looks like it's been there for a while. What could it be from? That container for storing liquid nitrogen found in Kokoro's room. Yeah, the accounts are always the hardest things. Because it's always hard to remember who says what.
Yeah.
Setsuko was suspicious of the liquid nitrogen container. According to her, there should have been some trace of liquid nitrogen in the room if the culprit used it to freeze Kokoro. However, she found nothing of the kind. If this is true, what could have been the liquid nitrogen for? Then that dry ice bag. It's a bag used to store dry ice, which was abandoned in a corner of Kokoro's room. It's been opened and its contents are gone. How exactly the dry ice was used is unknown as of now, but judging from the room's low temperature, it's very likely the culprit has used it in some way. Kokoro's handbook. It can recognize the owner's fingerprint and has an auto battery saver function. Only the owner is able to turn it on or disable the battery saving mode. Without it, it's impossible to open the lock on our doors. Means Kokoro's room was completely sealed off from the outside. Refrigerator divider. Something about the dividers in Kokoro's refrigerator looks off. They're loose and were not put in the right way, as if someone had taken them out and hastily put them back in. It could have been just Kokoro being clumsy though. Yeah, the dying message. I'm very curious what this is supposed to mean. Presumably left by Kokoro, was found in a refrigerator. 8 icicles of different lengths were placed on the bottom of the refrigerator and each had the letters F and O carved on the front and back. One of the longer icicles was piercing through a short icicle, and only this short icicle had an I instead of O carved on it. Very curious on what this is gonna mean, because I don't have a clue yet. Yuki's account. Yuki told me yesterday about his visit to Kokoro's room yesterday evening. Him, Emma, and Teria called her through the door, but Kokoro didn't open the lock for them. They assumed Kokoro was sleeping and left the dinner plate outside the door. He checked that the plates were gone later that night. Okay. Important things to note are it's the evening one. It's the one where Emma was with him. And the plates were gone later. Yoriko's account. Yoriko was responsible for bringing Kokoro's breakfast today. She heard no response from Kokoro, so she left the plates outside the door and headed to the island. The plates were at the same spot up until we found Kokoro's body. From this it seems like something has happened to Kokoro this morning. Shobai's account. Why are there so many accounts this time? Shobai claims to know who the culprit is. Apparently the culprit has made a grave mistake in front of him. I wonder if that's the source of his firm confidence. I don't like relying on Shobai, but he could be our last resort in a trial if what he said is true. Assuming he agrees to help us in the first place, of course. It's gonna probably be like a situation of we don't have any more clues left, or something like we don't have the last important evidence to convict this culprit. And then he comes in. Or stuff, if he wants to even. Monocru's balcony. The 4th floor of the Monocru's has a balcony, since all windows in the Monocru's are fixed. It's the only place other than the entrance that leads to the outside. Wouldn't it be possible to exit the Monocru's through this place? I would wonder why it would be necessary though, unless you are just chucking the frozen limbs into the sea. As Shinji was going out for a morning jog today, he saw something like a piece of fabric moving near the Monocru's balcony. Was someone out doing laundry at that time? I doubt it. And then the dressing room list where everything was in stock. Concern might be related to the murder and checked the stock again but found nothing missing. One of the wigs in the dressing room was partly covered in white debris for some reason. I wonder how debris could end up on a wig. I mean, what kind of debris is it? Is it ice? I guess if it was ice, it would already be melted. Or it's from when the doll was broken? Well, anyway, let's find out, I guess. Yep.
Firstly, allow me to briefly explain the rules of this class trial. The results of the class trial will be decided solely by your votes. If you manage to correctly identify the blackened, only they will receive punishment. But should you vote incorrectly, everyone except for the blackened will be punished, and they will be able to escape this field trip of mutual killing.
I hoped we'd never end up here again. But we're here now, and there's no turning back. We've got no choice but to solve this case. Together, we'll get through this mess.
Now then, you may begin at your discretion.
So we're looking for the person who killed Kokoro.
Where are we even supposed to start? I'm already totally lost.
I mean, that's no wonder, girl. Not when it's you.
If you would all be so kind as to lend me your ears, there is something I must tell you before we begin.
I don't have a clue what happened, honestly.
Please don't ignore me.
I love him.
Got some nerve talking to us, Mikado.
Is it just me? Or is my existence beginning to receive less and less acknowledgement?
Oh, you need a babysitter so bad.
I've said this before.
He really
but it
does.
seems I have no choice but to repeat myself. Although you may ignore me in everyday life, It would be unwise to ignore me during trials. I, for one, did my fair share of investigation. And it would do me no greater joy than to assist you all in the solving of this case.
Leave us alone, will you?
Teria, no.
No, he has a point. We probably should listen to Mikado.
Are you sure that's okay?
It's not like Mikado can afford to let us lose the class trial, considering all our lives, his included, are on the line. Every testimony is important, even if it's coming from a loser like him or a liar like Shobai.
Double this.
Yeah.
You're something else, Miss Sora.
But more
I love-
importantly, he could be the Blackened.
Girl, no.
And even if he's nothing but an ugly, worthless piece of scum who's no better than a rotting piece of inedible garbage,
Girl.
there's the smallest chance he might have found an important piece of evidence.
Oh, dear, my poor broken heart.
If Sora says so, then I guess it's fine.
Seeing that it's come to this, I present to you all my ultimate piece of evidence which will undoubtedly restore your valued trust in me.
Your cold compress, cold dry ice thingy.
Ultimate piece of evidence? What, did you already solve it?
Well, no, not yet. But
Shut up already! We can't afford to get off track!
He wants to present evidence.
Yeah. Like Rara said, I guess we shouldn't completely ignore him. But I doubt he'll be of any use, so let's just keep going for now, okay? Starting from the top, I think we should go over everything we know so far.
His mask is looking pretty funny considering that his evidence was completely ignored.
That's what Coco would have done.
Yeah. Without Koro, we have nobody to rely on but ourselves. Don't worry, sis. I'm here for you.
Cheer up, you guys. We can do this. For Kokoro.
Alrighty then. So, what we know about the case so far? Let's see.
I mean, it's easier said than done. I'm not even sure how we're supposed to start.
I would always, like, start with the corpse and, like, murder weapon and stuff like that.
Why don't we talk about what everyone was doing before we discovered the body?
Just like last time, it looks like we're starting by going over what we know so far. I still don't have a clue who the killer is, but with little cooperation, we should be able to figure that out.
We. We just have the monochrome file.
So, we found the dead body right around lunchtime. Sora, Teria, and I went to Kokoro's room to bring her lunch like always.
I still really like how they did this in this game.
But Kokoro didn't answer.
I know, it's really good.
So naturally, we started to get worried.
I also love that it's fucking voiced and dubbed, thank god. This moves so fast.
Once you guys told me what was going on, I went and got Monocro to open the door for us.
And when we went in, Kokoro was...
That would mean that Kokoro died around lunchtime.
No, that's wrong!
That would have been fast. Sorry, Shinji, but freezing to death doesn't happen that fast. Normally.
No, Shinji. We can't be sure of that.
Why not?
Just because we found the body during lunchtime doesn't mean Kokoro died around that time. Even the monochrome file says so. The time of death is unknown.
Speaking of which, the Monochrome file this time around isn't very helpful, is it?
I mean, it usually isn't for the most important things.
Probably because she was frozen. Even professionals have a hard time determining the time of death when it comes to frozen bodies. But if the time of death is unknown, then doesn't that mean that there's still a chance she really did die around lunchtime?
I suppose we can't rule out the possibility, but it's probably pretty low.
Then I guess we should be talking about when Kokoro really died.
Wait, do we really need to?
I guess we only really need to determine when exactly the freezing started, so to say. When the killer was making the move.
I thought it was obvious who the killer was.
Really? Are you gonna point your fingers to Yoriko again?
Wait, what? Nikkei, you already figured it out?
Who is it? Who's the Blacken?
Yoriko Kabuya. Need I say more?
Of course. Of course.
Huh?
Yoriko's the culprit.
Wait, not this again. Why am I always the one getting pinned for this stuff?
Good question.
But aren't you the one who brought Kokoro breakfast? If she was dead by lunchtime, then it sounds to me like that's the only opening for someone to get a stab at her.
Nah, could have also been overnight. Could have also been evening. Could have been after some time, lunchtime yesterday.
What?
He certainly has a point. If she was alive during the breakfast visit, but dead by the time Miss Sora's assemblage stopped by, then obviously whichever group was the last to check in to deliver breakfast is the most suspicious. And what do you know? That would be none other than Miss Kabuya.
I think Teria has an objection to that.
Wait,
yeah.
I was with Terra the entire time. How do you possibly expect me to kill her with someone else there?
She's right. The whole point of me joining every visit was to make sure nobody'd try and take advantage of Kokoro's vulnerability.
So that'd mean you're in the same boat.
What?
I mean, he isn't wrong, but likelihood of Teria killing in this case, very low.
You're implying he served as her accomplice?
But there isn't even any benefit to working as an accomplice. And we know Teria isn't a void, so he's got no reason to kill anyone in the first place.
Can we really be so sure about that? Yeah, the chances of him being a void are low, but it's not like they're zero. Remember, Mikado of all people was the one who brought him here.
Yeah.
To be honest, I always thought the whole, yeah, let's just put all our trust in a total stranger thing was ridiculous.
I mean, he has a point, though.
Yeah, but I mean...
Mr. Pessimist.
I mean, Kokoro herself, who can hear a shit ton out of people's voices, decided that Teria had to be there for all visits, so... I actually trust Kokoro's judgment on that one.
That's insane! I was kidnapped!
You're one to talk, Nikkei. Constantly accusing others doesn't automatically make you innocent.
Fine, then let's turn this around. If it wasn't those two working together, then when is the murder possibly supposed to have taken place? Sure, there isn't any incentive for accomplices, but Monocro didn't outright deny the possibility.
Guys, say something.
Yuko, I know how you feel, but he does have a point.
What?
We need to discuss this more, but...
Considering the order of people that have visited Kokoro, it makes sense for people to be suspicious of Teria and Yoriko. But we need to talk about it more before deciding anything.
Alrighty. Three times this one. Count separate limbs.
Why are you guys suspecting me again?
Considering the order, that breakfast visit was the only possible window for murder.
I was with her, and she didn't do anything suspicious.
Like Nick said, there is a possibility of you two being accomplices.
Miss Mitsume ate her meals up until last night. And the body was found this lunch. So if something happened to Miss Mitsume, it would have been during this morning.
These two also don't have alibis in the first place. As it stands, there are two prime suspects.
No, that's wrong!
Nah.
Yeah.
Sorry, Nikkei, but I won't let you badger Yoriko again like this.
Sora.
Yoriko has an alibi. After the trip with Teria, she went straight to the village to practice cooking.
Yeah. When there was no answer, we left the meal on her doorstep. As soon as that was done, she told me she was gonna continue practicing her cooking at the village.
You got any evidence to back that up?
Well, I did meet a few on the way there. Ah, I saw her. You were cooking some stew, right?
There are plenty of witnesses, Nikkei. If what Yoriko says is true, then there would have been no time for murder.
Alright, then we can excuse Yoriko. But what about Teruya? He entered Kokoro's room every visit. There could have been plenty of chances for him to kill her.
Kokoro said she'd only open the door when 2 or more people came to visit her. Thus, under normal circumstances, if anyone entered Kokoro's room to kill her, then we're dealing with more than one culprit.
Now that Yoriko's alibi has been confirmed, it would have been impossible for Teria to kill Kokoro on his own. Thus, the theory of Yoriko and Teria being accomplices is disproven.
Your argument is full of gaps.
Nikkei, no.
No, that alone isn't going to suffice.
Yeah, this one sucks.
Why would you do this to me?
Okay, so you want to know a fun fact about this specific rebuttal?
Okay.
This rebuttal is known for being notoriously awful, and people have made fan art poking at him for the fact that this one sucks. And I think most of it is because most people didn't have the skills by this point, but also Nikkei just talks a lot. So this is also kind of why the fandom kicks him around and bullies him, but anyway. It's really funny, but yeah. Believe in you.
But as a journalist, it's my job's instinct to pursue every last detail of what I find suspicious. Allow me to present you with this evidence. Let's see if you can retaliate against the ultimate journalist's latest scoop.
Fuck your scoop.
Get his ass, Rina.
Remind me, please.
You know, the worst thing ever, and the fact that you have to lock and unlock the arrow or else it fucks it up.
I remember.
You remember now? Yeah, I'm sorry. At least we have skills to help with this time. So it makes it a little easier. But, yeah, even the skills don't help that much because this minigame just really sucks. Linoge, why did you do this? Like, the knife minigame was bad enough. Why this one? This one's worse.
You know, I sometimes saw, especially in the past, like, reviews of, like, visual novels like Danganronpa with, like, gameplay elements, where they just teared the gameplay apart, being like, why couldn't it just be a normal visual novel? And that's the feeling right now. So much stress would be elevated for not if it weren't for weird minigames. Okay, arrow keys, lane to lane. S, for whatever fucking reason. To shoot the opponent's words down, failing to hit lines, yeah. Yeah. Biggest gauge will take damage, points will be deduced. Just like non-stop debates, there are yellow phrases which contain weak points. Here you will use and shoot a truth arrow in order to refute your opponent. Select the appropriate arrow with shift and notch the arrow down with S before firing. Okay, wait. So the normal stuff I shoot down with, like, enter? Or also with S? Why do I notch the
Okay.
arrow with S?
Remember, because you can't. Okay, you cannot shoot the white text while it is notched.
Hmm.
That is why. You have to unnotch it whenever you were shooting the other text, and you have to notch it again to shoot the right answer. Yellow points. That is why.
But why do you notch it with S?
I don't know. Sorry.
I guess I see how it works again.
Yeah, this minigame just sucks, sorry.
Shift, S, enter. I'm not that versatile with a keyboard.
You can do it.
Set of 3, we're going to... Must be equipped on the bow in order to refuse. Press shift to change your and S. Equipped on will turn red and you will not be able to change truth arrows. Press S again to Okay, so you don't use S to shoot down. You use enter.
God.
Alrighty then. Pressing A, Well, first I need to see the truth bullets.
Okay, we got 3.
Divider, monocross balcony.
So, after delivering breakfast, Yoriko went to the village. That much I could understand, but she could have easily killed her then and there before fleeing soon after. She visited Kokoro and Teria with the intent to kill her. Then she split so that she'd have a witness for her alibi.
You saw the state of the body, didn't you? It was frozen solid. Could Yoriko have done such a feat in such a short span of time? It'd be impossible for Yoriko to do that and immediately leave for the village.
Nope. There's a way that she could have frozen Kokoro instantly. Her room says it all. She used liquid nitrogen. She killed Kokoro, then poured liquid nitrogen over her. Her body would freeze instantly.
Yeah, he doesn't shut up. If Yoriko really did kill Kokoro, she'd have needed to be incredibly swift with the task. Nike's theory is plausible, but he's overlooking something vital. Let's show it to him.
Setsuka's account?
Think so. Again, this trial is fuzzier for me than the others. So I'll be re-remembering the answers as I find them.
Nah.
But she could have easily killed her then and there before fleeing soon after. She visited Kokoro and Teria with the intent to kill her. Then she split so that she'd have a witness for her alibi.
My god, Nike, shut up.
You saw the state of the body, didn't you? It was frozen solid. Could Yoriko have done such a feat in such a short span of time? It'd be impossible for Yoriko to do that and immediately leave for the village.
Nope. There's a way that she could have frozen Kokoro instantly. Her room says it all. She used liquid nitrogen. She killed Kokoro, then poured liquid nitrogen over her. Her body would freeze instantly. And there you have it. Our crime scene.
I need to practice on that S button again.
She could have frozen Kokoro instantly. Her room says it all. She used liquid nitrogen.
I'll pierce through those words.
That wasn't too bad, actually.
Yeah. Most people have trouble with it, though, and you also have the 2 abilities that help with it, though. Minigames sucks if you don't have those. Me shaking Nike by his shoulder. Shut the fuck up, little journalist man.
Doesn't add up. There's no way Yoriko used liquid nitrogen to freeze Kokoro.
What are you talking about? We all saw an empty container of it in her room, plain as day.
If she really used that to freeze Kokoro, then there should have been traces left behind in the room. But other than her corpse, we didn't find a single trace of anything else being frozen. Right, Setsuka?
Yep. No traces mean that the liquid nitrogen was probably never used.
I would debate that, but it certainly wasn't used as Nikkei said.
Yeah, it could have been used elsewhere.
Maybe she could have frozen Koro in some other room before bringing her back in?
Risky.
Risky and nah.
Nikki's proposition was that the crime could have been done within a short amount of time. If Yoriko, our supposed murderer, had taken time moving the body like that, then it would be impossible to arrive at the village as early as she did.
So Yuruko and Teruya are innocent?
Yep.
That's what I've been saying since the start.
I know that from an opportunity standpoint, we're suspicious. But don't you think you're being a bit cruel, Nikkei?
What a reaction.
Hey, what's with that attitude, Nikkei? You owe these two an apology!
Now, fighting won't get us anywhere. Since Raro's cleared up our suspicion on Terry and Yuko, let's get back to the case.
If not for freezing, then what was the liquid nitrogen for? After all, since we found the container in her room, we can easily assume it must have been used for something, correct?
Like, was it like completely empty? Like not even like the slightest bit of trace inside the drum, or?
It was completely empty.
Then it really could have been a prop. Would be hard to like get it completely clean and stuff.
Either that, or like could have brought it from somewhere else where it had already been used.
No, that's probably a red herring.
A red herring? But the label on the drum clearly said liquid nitrogen on it.
Right. The label, but nothing else. I'm saying that they probably just stuck that label onto an empty container. Look at it closer.
Could also be.
It's slanted, slightly, as if hastily slapped on. I'm willing to bet there was never any liquid nitrogen inside that container at all. Wait, then how did Kokoro get frozen? It must be the Yukiona's curse after all! There's no other way that a person would suddenly freeze!
Iroha? No.
Of course it's not because of the curse, but still, to freeze someone so thoroughly. There must have been a tool inside her room to help freeze things, and that tool must be probably the fridge?
It had an instant freeze option.
Yeah, I think this is the matching game.
Ah, the one where I need to make a screenshot of it.
It's either that or it's the gambit. I don't remember. You might want to look at the instructions before just doing it.
Yeah.
Okay, it is the- I was right, it is the fucking... Gotta get your screenshots ready!
For
this minigame sucks.
Yeah. For some reason I read that as fart first. What it's spelling out in the screenshots.
This minigame is... I just wish it was slower. Alright.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Refrigerator. Wait, that's such a long word. Yeah, it fits. It's refrigerator.
I am glad to have you here because trying to like spell something in another language is like a whole new ballpark of difficulty.
That's why I'm here. Yay!
Alright, gotta find the
I'm
stupid
here for
screenshot.
English questions.
Where is the stupid screenshot? I have
Where'd it go?
I have way too many screenshots. How
Oh,
about
no.
I just sort? There it is.
Hey. You found it?
Yeah.
You're ready to go. Okay. So, tell me when you need help.
Refr. G. A. I. Ra. T. O.
Did it! Yay!
I hate how it's like timed in the bottom. Like, goddamn.
I didn't even focus on that. I just spent my way.
You had like 15 seconds left.
I am glad I didn't focus on that then.
Yeah, I was just quietly sitting here, like waiting, just being like, I was like, she can do it, she can do it, she can do it. I'm not gonna say anything.
It's probably the refrigerator.
The
Yeah.
refrigerator? The culprit froze Kokoro with the refrigerator?
Happens if the refrigerator is big enough.
Well, excluding the liquid nitrogen, it's the only thing left capable of freezing someone. But
Is there any proof that the refrigerator was used?
Well, yeah. 2, actually. Which one? Probably the first one.
Got it. I noticed the refrigerator divider in Kokoro's room was a bit loose. Perhaps it's because the culprit had taken the divider out to fit Kokoro in, then placed it back when she'd been frozen.
Miss Mitsume is quite small, so if they squeezed her right in, I'm sure that she'd fit rather nicely.
You might not want to put it like that.
Yeah.
Watch your words. There's also the fact that her refrigerator was set to instant freeze mode. For those of you who've used that setting, I'm sure you can agree it's definitely powerful enough to freeze a human being.
Wait, even if the output was set to instant freeze, there's a big difference between freezing some leftovers and freezing a whole human being.
It might take some time.
We're not talking about mild frostbite here. The monochrome file says that she was frozen to the point where all her cells suffered from necrosis. If she was frozen that
Yep.
badly, that means the culprit must have left her in for at least a whole day.
Huh? Wait, that means Coco would have been in there since yesterday's lunchtime.
Is possible.
Yuki, when you were there with me and Tsuruya delivering Kokoro her meal, there was no answer, right?
Yeah, but Yoriko said that the dinner was gone that night.
That doesn't make sense. Maybe Ruko is lying? Why would I lie about something like that?
If your refrigerator theory is correct, that means Kokoro should have been inside the refrigerator last supper.
I swear, if Yoriko really is the culprit...
Wait, hold your horses. Yoriko never visited Kokoro yesterday, so she wouldn't have had the chance to enter her room.
Then who delivered breakfast yesterday?
Me, Roha, and Teria.
Are you gonna point your fingers next to them, Nikkei?
And you met up with Kokoro?
Yup. We had a really nice chat with her. Kokoro even wrote on her iPad. Oh, those were the days.
That was yesterday.
That means she was alive up until that point, at least.
Who was there for lunch?
Me, Kanade, Gigi, and Ruru.
And did you guys meet Kokoro?
Of course. She complained about 4 people being too many.
Wait, this is getting a bit too complicated. Can somebody summarize it?
Roha, can you give me a piece of paper from your sketchbook?
Okay.
Handy. The day before yesterday. Alright.
To summarize what we've discussed so far, this is our result.
Setsuka, your drawing's adorable. Oh, and you drew such a good summary too.
I hereby dub you the Taking Notes Master. Or would it be Mistress? Miss Chiabukuro, which do you prefer?
I'd prefer it if you stopped focusing on the drawings and instead focused on the timeline of events.
Nah. All business, no fun.
Looking at this, we can confirm Kokoro hasn't answered her door since yesterday evening. That means something definitely happened between those 2 visits.
Does that mean the visitors right before then? Shinji, Tsuruya, and the twins are all one big culprit?
Yeah, no.
What? Why are we the culprits? And how would that even work?
I doubt that 4 people were accomplices.
Not sure would have been a number.
Yeah.
I think that can only happen if someone, like, is really, really hated. Hated to a point where everyone is just like, okay, they need to go. Unlikely.
Especially when the chances of there being even one accomplice are close to 0.
But according to Yuki, that gap between lunch and dinner was the only period of time she could have been killed.
That's impossible. Haven't we already discussed that the only time we could have entered her room was to deliver meals? That was a rule she personally set.
And I definitely saw her dinner had disappeared. So she couldn't have been dead by then, right?
I mean, anyone could have just taken the dinner in the dead of night when no one was around.
True. But if Coco were still alive last night, there wouldn't have been enough time to freeze her.
I have no idea what we're talking about anymore.
According to this theory, none of us could have killed Kokoro to even get close to her. They obviously needed to first enter her room, and if it wasn't during our visits... Admittedly, I think the refrigerator is the root of this problem. Determining how one would have access to it is what's brought us to a dead end.
No, it must be the refrigerator. Considering the liquid nitrogen was just a red herring, it becomes the only tool capable of freezing Kokodo. There is no alternative.
I would agree with that. Unless someone has like a whole year's supply of dry ice.
Yeah, that would be...
And a place large enough to freeze someone with it.
God.
But if we could have only entered her room during lunchtime, then...
Damn, this really is a locked room mystery.
This is hard. Can I use a hint coin?
I see. You make your head proud.
Yeah! I love him.
Just discussed.
I got it! It's the Yukiona!
Iroha, no.
Oh my god. I need to put tape over her mouth.
Right now before it's too late! This isn't a murder, it's a curse!
And the class trial, you say? I don't mind at all, but I assume that means you've given up on finding the culprit?
Well, that's not... I mean, does a culprit exist in the first place? Seems like it's impossible for everyone, so...
That's what the culprit wants you to think.
Is there anything that could point us towards the culprit?
The dying message?
We just need a small push in the right direction.
Though I still don't know how to read it.
Guess I gotta help you out. The culprit exists.
You're not gonna, like, do a showdown with me, right? This is a good
No,
thing,
she's
right?
assisting you.
Okay.
She's assisting you.
Good. Good. I was spooked
You get
for a
to
second.
you get to get truth bullets from her. Remember, you just gotta ride the Hot Wheels track. You'll see.
Where if you think about the method first, it's more difficult. So let's put the method aside for now and focus on the culprit's identity first. The evidence pointing towards the culprit. You already know, Sora. I know you have what it takes to solve this. And don't worry, I'll help you out.
Thank you. Logic refresh. In a logic refresh, someone who supports your argument will give you hints to help you out. Ah, I slowly remember. There are 5 lines, similar to Rebuttal Showdown, and you can use the up and down keys to switch lines. Your supporter will say their argument point by point. Your task is to avoid contact with their wide statements. You will suffer damage when the midpoint of a comment in your line passes through the vertical line of the right. On the other hand, blue truth bullets that appear in the midst of comments should be collected. Truth bullets can be collected when their midpoint passes through the judgment line on the same line as you, and will be shown on the lower left corner. Unlike white text, you will take damage for failing to collect them instead. You will proceed to the next step if you collect all truth bullets shown in the lower left of the screen. You must then choose the most appropriate truth bullet for the present situation of the group of bullets you have collected. If you choose the correct bullet, your supporter will fire a truth bullet to you and you'll clear the game with a cut-in. An incorrect choice will not only damage your focus gauge, will also deduce points from your score. Oh no.
Yeah.
The murder method is still a mystery. But there was a clue pointing towards the culprit at the crime scene, Kokoro's final moments.
Yeah, it's the dying message, I would say.
Their dying breaths. That clue clearly points out the real culprit. You remember now, right, Sora?
I agree with that.
Whee! Doing good so far, I guess.
That's it. The dying message. The dying message that Kokoro had left. If we decipher that, we can figure out who the culprit is.
Bingo! Well done, Sora.
The dying
Yeah.
now?
Just the question is, like, how to decipher it. I am curious.
The dying message. You usually see victims leave them behind right before they die, hinting towards their killer's identity. But Rara, you're saying Coco left one herself?
Yes, the icicles inside the refrigerator.
She would have had all the time to make them.
They look like normal icicles.
True.
But if you look closely, there are letters written on each one. It looks like someone carved them with their nails, presumably Kokoro's.
What? F-O?
Look, two of them are stuck together. It looks like the bigger one is penetrating the smaller one.
Not you two.
God.
So the icicles killed Kokoro?
Shinji, no.
I don't...
Dying message.
Like I said, he only has brain cells when he feels like he has them.
Like a secret code or something. It's actually rather simple. I've already figured out the culprit by using this.
Now you're just bragging. Tell me.
Her and Shobai have a habit of doing that.
F-O and F-I.
What? Kanade, you know who the culprit is?
Who is it?
Instead of outright telling you, let me explain through this dying message.
But we don't know what it means.
Miss Kanade, we are inclined to hear your explanation.
Of course. Once you learn the identity of the killer, the method should come naturally. Now, while these initially look like a random series of icicles, the important thing to note is that there are exactly 8 of them. Furthermore, the letters F and O have been carved into each end of them. 6 of them stand separately. But like Nikkei pointed out, one has penetrated another, conjoining the two.
Whatever happened to the word piercing?
You know, shrugs. I don't have an answer to that.
Because I don't think teenagers would use the word penetrated so seriously.
Yeah, I could see some giggling happening, sure.
Like, the canon Danganronpa games are more in line with that, because they did giggle about that.
Yeah, true.
And that specific icicle is different from the others. Instead of O, it has the letter I carved into it. Okay. So...
I'm sorry, Kanade, but your group is too dumb. You're gonna have to give them a little more than that.
I also feel myself included in that group.
To be honest, I don't remember what this hint was. So
F-O-F-I.
I also am like, what was the explanation for this? Because I remember when I learned it, I was like, what the fuck, really? But like, I don't remember what it is again, so...
Fo-fo-fi-fo-fo-fo.
Yeah, I don't. Shrugs. I don't.
And 8.
F stands for female.
Yeah? Keep going.
8 icicles and 8 of us.
Okay, wait. So she's saying that girl is the murderer.
Yeah.
So there's that. One girl killed another. Cool. Alright. So where are we going with that?
And that the girl is taller than her. Maybe?
I think so, actually, yeah. That's a good observation.
O stands for others.
Ah, so I literally stands for I, as in myself?
Yup. I guess you aren't as stupid as you look, Yuki.
I know, I get it now. I get it now. I get what the hint is. It's basically like, out of all the others, this person killed me.
Hmm.
Do you get the hint yet?
Having O on them, one of the remaining 7 can be seen penetrating I. Considering that it was Kokoro who made this, I would represent herself. Meaning we can interpret this message to mean, one of the 7 girls killed me.
Whoa, so the culprit is a female?
Alright, so we know their gender. So what? This alone doesn't pinpoint the culprit at all. It just tells us that the killer is a girl.
Well,
Nope, I understand what it is now.
I was about to say we can take one step further to deduce the killer's identity as well.
What do you mean?
Look carefully at the icicles. It's easy to overlook, but the O icicle that penetrated the I icicle is significantly longer than the other ones.
The tallest one. I see.
Uh-oh. But didn't we just deduce that these icicles were us girls? If one's taller than the rest, wouldn't it make sense for their length to be analogous to our heights? I don't even know what that word means.
Girl, what?
One moment, Miss Kanade. Are you proposing that the tallest female present is our killer?
Huh? That's the solution to the dying message.
You know, if I was in Kokoro's position, I probably would have just tried to actually carve the name in.
She might not have had the time. She might have been losing feeling in her fingers.
But she still had the time to carve in F-O 8 times, when Emma would have been 4 letters.
I think it's more that, like... Yeah, I'm trying to think that one out, huh? I shrugs. I don't know, actually. Laneige, what the fuck?
It must...
Maybe he thought this was more clever, which it is. And the other idea is, Emma likely was looking at all the evidence in the room, right? Trying to get rid of shit. She probably wanted to slip it under her nose.
But she didn't seem to notice the F-O. She was surprised about it.
Yeah.
And if
why would you check icicles?
Yeah, and if I was Emma, if I actually noticed my victim having scratched anything into the icicles, those icicles would have been gone.
Yeah, that's fair. Anyway. Then that would mean she's the culprit.
I mean, good that we all know who the tallest girl here is.
It's Emma Maburugi! Hello!
It can only be you. Tallest out of the female students. That's Emma Magarobi. Are you the killer?
Oop. Oh no. Oh boy. Oh, sweetie. Oh dear.
Oh, we are already at trial suspended, I see.
Yeah! This case is shorter.
Alright. Savey.
Eve!
Yeah, no, we are only... Huh, we haven't been going for long.
Yep, but it's still an hour. Alrighty then. Then we shall end this part here on this nice cliffhanger. Next time we shall see how the heck Emma is gonna react and how the heck she even managed to do all this.
Yeah.
So yeah, until then, goodbye!